Hello and welcome to Deep Talk. My name is Lupe Gobea, and today I am here interviewing soon to be Dr. Jose Molina. He is a alum of Fresno State as well as UC San Francisco for dental school. And thank you for being here with us today. We are going to be talking about your story today, so thank you again. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Giving back is something that I value deeply. I certainly wouldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for people that helped me out. So yeah, a little bit about my story. So I was actually born in Mexico, in Puebla. I came here at the age of 7, immigrated just with my mom and my brother. You know, we unfortunately crossed illegally. So that on itself brought forth a lot of challenges, which I could talk about. But yeah, coming here, we ended up crashing with one of my aunts and uncles over in like this small, tiny trailer. So it was like my mom, my brother, myself, and then my 2 cousins, my uncle and my aunt. Tiny little trailer along the side of Highway 99. So that was definitely like a huge change from Mexico, even though, I mean, we were not well off in Mexico, but just coming here and along the side of a freeway. And then behind that, there were fields. Although I never personally worked in the fields, I always, saw that and thought to myself, I never want to do that. Because I know how hard it can be. Didn't quite click what my circumstances were until I went on and went on to high school. Then in high school, I started seeing discrepancies between how I grew up versus how other kids grew up. And that it was right then and there where I realized, okay, so I have like 2 choices pretty much. 1, continue in school and better myself. Or 2, just, go down the path that other friends have gone by and not really do much with my life. At that point, I was also blessed that my high school counselor took interest in me. I think she saw that I was a good person and I wanted to achieve something, so that desire was there and she saw it, las ganas, And she said, hey, what is it that you want to do? And I just told her, hey, well, I'm thinking maybe a doctor, But I feel like everyone says, I want to be a doctor or I want to be a lawyer or something like that. So she was like, okay, have you thought about joining like this certain club? And I said, yeah, I've thought about it, but I don't really know what it is. Like most of us do. So I started joining many clubs. Along those was this great program in Fresno called the Doctors Academy, which tells you a little bit about each profession in the health field. And in one of those trips that they tend to have, I happened to go to UCSF. I kind of roamed around the medical school, pharmacy school, and then finally the dental school. And, dentistry had never crossed my mind. I ended up going to dental school, and this is where I met my great mentor, who is now actually going to be my boss. He started speaking about dentistry and just what he liked about it, why he was so passionate about it. And I really took it in. And seeing the changes you can, or the impact you can have in a person's life just by simply changing their oral health was a huge change that I was never aware of. When I met Dr. Art Morales, I really took it in, and he said, hey, if you're really interested, why don't you just have my card? I'll be in Fresno. I'm moving back. I'm graduating soon. Give me a call when I'm out there and you're actually at Fresno State pursuing pre-dental if that's what you want to do. So, sure enough, I'm thinking he probably didn't think I was going to be stuck to the hip to him after that. but anyway, I went ahead and gave him a call once he was back in Fresno and I was at Fresno State. And, we kept in touch. He mentored me. I went and followed him from residency to private practice. And along those times, he would kind of just ask me, how are you doing? What are you doing? What's your major? Not knowing at the time that you could do any major. I went ahead and joined chemistry blindly just because it simply fit most of the pre-requirements. It wasn't a smart choice on my behalf because I think that I have other talents that I could have probably explored and still gone into dental school. But that it is what it is. As I got to know myself, I got to see that I was actually better at art than sciences. That was good because dentistry on its own is a form of art. I think that my wife, Dr. Torres Molina, kind of put it in good terms. It's kind of like you're an engineer, an architect, and I feel like an artist at the same time when you're working with teeth. I know that people don't really think about teeth like, oh, it's not a big deal until you lose them, right? You're like, oh man, that was a big deal. I can't chew quite as fast. One side of my mouth is working more than the other. It's causing pain right here. All these other things that people don't think about that as I've gone through dental school and and I shadow Dr. Mireles, I've started to see that, wow, it's a big impact. But anyway, that's kind of how I got to where I'm at. 10 days away from finishing dental school. After I finish dental school, I'm going to join Dr. Art Mireles in the Central Valley, and, kind of try to give back, because that's what he's done with me. He's done it with a couple other people from the Valley. And yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the fact that people took the time to get to know me and gave me an opportunity and informed me of things, because I think that's how most of us are going to get through it. Especially, I feel like if you don't have parents that went through it, it's certainly harder. I basically had to put myself through college because I was undocumented. I couldn't get financial aid. So that was a huge burden that I had to sort of deal with going through all this. And yeah, more than anything, it was just those people that helped me get to where I'm at. Because in times when I felt like I couldn't do it, they always reached out and say, hey, you know what? You can do it. Other people have done it. So can you. Just, have faith and pushing forward, work hard. And working hard is something that's always been instilled in me since I was little. I didn't quite work in the fields, but my mother cleans houses. I always went and helped her out. My uncle had a gardening business. I went ahead and just, gardened away. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Wow. What an impacting story. And really thank you for sharing, just your personal background. That's really, really amazing. So thank you. Yeah. And so you talked about how you came to dentistry, how you chose that profession. What would you say that you had to do to prepare yourself to have a strong application package for professional school once it came to that point?
Right. Okay. So as I mentioned, I struggled because, as soon as I was 18, my father moved back in with my mother, kicked me out of the house.
Oh, no.
Typical Mexican, you're 18, go on your own or pay the bills or whatnot. So I just decided, what, this is a good environment for me. I think it's time for me to step away. So I went ahead and my high school counselor, who I told you had taken interest in me, I was best friends, or I still am best friends with her son. So she allowed me to kind of crash with her son. And I ended up taking a couple of jobs here and there, kind of dishwashing at a taqueria, became a tutor. So all this kind of took a bit away from my own studies. When I think that when I ended undergrad, I must have ended up with like a 3.1, which isn't very competitive. I ended up finding out after undergrad about this program called the Dental Postbac Program at San Francisco State University. And I was lucky enough to get an interview. And after I got through talking with them, they kind of realized, hey, this guy really wants to do something. He may not be the strongest on paper, but as far as the willingness to work and, wanting to help people is definitely there. So I went ahead and did that postbac program. I took some more science classes. This time it was biology instead of chemistry, as I hadn't taken before, which I think I was better suited for than chemistry. So anyway, I ended up doing a lot better. I didn't have to put myself through school because there was some funding aside from that program. And by that point, I had actually gotten my documents. So I was able to apply for financial aid. And, just having financial aid and that help, it just made it a whole lot easier. Long story short, I ended up getting a better GPA, made Dean's List, went ahead and applied to UCSF, and that's how I kind of got in. As far as I prepare myself academically, I don't know, my story was kind of different in that sense that I told you I had to work. I didn't have like my family telling me no, but I didn't have them telling me yes. I didn't have that support from family. But like I said, I just believed in hard work. I believed in people who believed in me, that they knew what was right for me. Because, it has to be a two-way street. It can't just be them believing in you and you not putting your part. So I always went ahead, put in my part. I listened to what they had to say. and yeah, that's just sort of how I got to where I'm at.
You have such a unique story in the sense that, you know, you talk about you were undocumented. And so that's something so powerful. Is there, I know you said you worked through undergrad to put yourself through school. Were there any programs or any key supporting, you know, organizations or anything that you were involved with that really helped you, you know, in undergrad? It sounds like by the time you got to the post-bac program, then you were better, you know, in a better position to go on. But, you know, through those undergrad years, what made the difference for you?
Right. So there was actually a college assistance migrant program, and there was the health careers opportunity program. Through them, I was able to get some scholarships, and it didn't cover my entire tuition, but it did cover a portion of it. And it was through those programs also that I was able to get tutoring jobs. You know, so through those tutoring jobs and working, you know, at the taqueria, dishwashing here and there, helping my mom out and getting these scholarships, I was able to pay the full amount, plus the living expenses. So yeah, it was those programs that really helped out a lot.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds like you know, it was a blessing, you know, for you to be able to get in contact with them. So glad that there are programs like that. And touching on, you know, you talk about what your mentorship and how that's something that you care about. So tell us a little bit about, what do you see as your purpose in life?
My purpose in life, to be honest, has to do, on a more personal level, has to do with me growing up without a father, me not having that strong family support. And my purpose in life is to build that, you know, for my kids. I want to instill in them good moral values. You know, I want to instill in them the fact that, hey, just because we have this doesn't mean we can't share it. You know, I want them to help out others, because my kids are going to be in a different position than what I was in. But, you know, there's still people out there like me that feel like they can't move forward. They feel like they're stuck. They feel like, oh, that's not an option for me. Going to college is not an option. You know, I want them to be the people that help others. I want them to realize that they can learn from others as well. You know, just because they didn't work hard in the fields doesn't mean that, you know, they can't value hard work. So that's my purpose. I feel like if I could pass that on to them, then the world will be a better place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Those are just beautiful and very powerful words. So thank you so much for sharing that. And, you know, our last question for today, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And can you describe some of the actionable steps that you will take to get there? And again, you can talk about both professionally as well as personally if you'd like.
Right. So another reason why I like my profession, there's, you know, you continue to learn as you get out, you know, and the amount the amount that's out there to learn is your choice. You know, you can pretty much take it on your hands. So another reason why I really value Dr. Morales is because he's been a guy of like lifelong learning. He keeps taking courses. He keeps doing things to update his skills. And I see myself doing the same thing. Starting July or the end of July, I will start working for him. In our contract, it states that, you know, you have to take continuing education. And the reason why I feel like our partnership is going to work out is because I believe in it. He believes in it. And yeah, so I see myself just taking a lot more courses. I see myself, hopefully by 5 years, placing implants like he does, trying to restore people's mouths, function of it. I see myself hopefully getting a mentee. We'll see. There's been some people from the Doctors Academy that have been interested in dentistry, and I hope that I can mentor them. I see myself hopefully having more kids. And yeah, just really trying to make a positive impact in my community.
You just spoke about all of the mission goals that we have here at Deep Talk. So thank you for sharing your story, because I think you will be able to reach, you know, on a larger scale. And I'm just so excited to have you share your story with us. Are there any last words or any last words of advice that you want to leave our members with?
You know, I would like to leave them with just something to think about. You know, I've always been a man of faith. I don't believe you have to go to a certain church or anything to have faith. So I'm not promoting a certain religion or whatnot, but just having faith that there's a greater being out there, that there's a greater purpose for you, and that if you really believe in that, then just anything can be possible. You know, like I said, I started off with pretty much nothing along the side of a freeway, and now I'm here seeing that hey, it was possible. I just had to work hard and believe in it. If you can do that, then I think yeah, anything's possible. And you know, for those out there that want to pursue higher education, just put in the time, believe in yourself, and I'm pretty sure you'll get there as well.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, soon to be Dr. Molina. That is all we have for today. We thank our guests, so Dr. Molina for today, and soon we will have another session both with you and your wife, and I'm so excited to have that soon. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend the time with us here and to share your story on Soul Talk at Deep Talk. For our members, don't forget to follow us on our website at deeptalk.org, also on our social media at Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. Share with your friends, family, all over these great stories that they can, I'm sure we can all learn something from. Until next time, my name is Lupe Govea, and have a good day.